war never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world, but war never changes. In the early days, thousands were spared the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in enormous underground shelters known as vaults. But when they emerged, they had only the hell of the wastes to greet them. All except those in Vault 101. For on that fateful day, when fire rained from the sky, the giant steel door of Vault 101 slid closed and never reopened. It was here you were born. It is here you will die. Because in Vault 101, no one ever enters, and no one ever leaves.
Fallout 3 was released in 2008 on the PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360, winning several Game of the Year awards for its release year. Fallout 3 is an alternate history where society kept the idealistic culture of the 1950s, but advanced rapidly technologically. However, the society ended in a global nuclear war. This story takes place after the fallout of this nuclear war. In this game, you play a Fallout Vault dweller, who grows up in Vault 101 from the Vaultec Corporation. Vault 101 is the only vault that did not open its doors after the radiation supposedly subsided enough for people to survive. Your story comes into play at your birth, where you go through 2 scenes growing up to learn the basic controls of the game. Then as a teenager, becoming an adult, your father mysteriously leaves the vault, causing civil unrest and an uproar. You immediately follow, searching for him. This game is very deserving of its multiple Game of the Year titles. It is an open-world game with a huge map to explore around the ruined wastelands of Washington, D.C. In this game, you fight enemies such as mutated animals, raiders, slavers, and super mutants, all with their own challenges, allegiances, and personalities. I'm very picky about the RPGs I play. This, however, is one RPG I did enjoy. The oddball and even slightly ridiculous story is still enjoyable and manages to pull you in. The voice talents come from actors such as Liam Neeson, Malcolm McDowell, and Ron Perlman, as well as many others. This is both a positive and a negative attribute of the game. Though the voice acting is done well, there is not enough variety of actors for the large number of characters portrayed. Thus you hear several different characters with the same voice. Though this is a fault, in other ways it becomes a sort of charm of the game. The game is loaded with dry humor, and isn't afraid to make fun of itself. Having such things as a greaser-style gang living in a nuclear fallout shelter is one example of the humor of the game. The game has the feel of a first-person shooter. Although you can switch to a third-person view, it is much easier to use a first-person view. There is a large variety of ways you can customize your character. As you level up, you can focus on various skills that you use more than other skills. These range from lockpicking to using various different weapons such as firearms, melee, and explosive weapons. Another important aspect of the game is its system of karma. The actions you take throughout the game have both positive and negative karmic consequences. As you gain negative or positive karma, other characters in the game react differently to you. For example, there are companions that will only follow you if you are positive, negative, or neutral karma respectively. In this game, you are free to rigorously follow the storyline or wander aimlessly, exploring and just having fun. I personally have enjoyed hours of fun just wandering the wastelands of the game. The great attention to the environment is one of the strongest aspects of the game. There's a large map full of landmarks, both recognizable and fictional, that you can find around Washington, D.C. A lot of attention is given to both great and small details. The player can check out famous landmarks, such as the Washington Monument and Lincoln Memorial, and on the flip side, the player can find remote things such as graffiti on a small, easily missed corner of the map. The game does come with some faults, however. There are several glitches in the game, some of which a gamer can take advantage of to gain more money, others that are just plain frustrating. For example, I got the first character I played on this game to level 17, at which point the game started freezing frequently as I was exploring the wastelands. This grew so frustrating that I created a new game and abandoned the character. Most of the glitches are forgivable. I thoroughly enjoyed this game, and have not yet beaten it, but I look forward to seeing how the story plays out. I give Fallout 3 a rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars. I would have given this game a 5-star rating if it were not for the glitches. I recommend that anyone purchase this game, especially the Game of the Year edition, which includes all of the expansions.